Sweet guys. So today we brought on one of my good friends and a rep on one of my teams, and also a student, Tyler Hoff. Tyler has been an absolute killer the last 6 months. It's been incredible to watch him develop his sales skill, and he's also the owner of Hemp Aware and Bulk Hemp Warehouse. So he is a hemppreneur and multi-talented man. And really today we're just going to go into a little bit of his journey about where he started when we started working together, like, where he's progressed to and, some of the lessons. But yeah, Tyler, I guess I'll just let you take a little intro on who you are, your background, and then we can dive into sales.
Appreciate it, Mason. Yeah,
Yeah.
honor to be here. Love your work. Had tremendous gains since working with you, and you're just a super cool, fun guy to hang out with and learn from. So it's been fun.
Yeah. I know we connected about 6 months ago when I started working with Lead Gen J. Um, you were doing fairly decent as a starting point, but your progress has been really cool to witness. I guess I'm curious if you could kind of describe maybe how you were feeling about sales, where you were at with like your sales, maybe mindset, skill set when we first came in, like kind of what was your starting point, would you say?
Yeah, so I've my background is in marketing, just
Yeah.
overall digital marketing. So I had a lot of knowledge around copywriting and branding and messaging. And I had a lot of basic principles with sales, but like real world application is, I think, what I was missing.
Mm,
And which is why I actually reached out to Jay because I joined his program and saw in his community after I joined that he was looking for someone to have discovery calls and a closer essentially. And I was like, dude, this is a great opportunity for me to not only learn lead gen and improve my skills there, but at the same time,
get
develop my
better.
sales skills.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like I had a real desire to improve my sales. Like I love sales. Just the books that I've read, and one of my mentors was uh, just really good at sales. And so 20 plus years ago is when I kind of like had my basic foundational knowledge, but just felt rusty, and this was a perfect opportunity. So jumping into it, had the basic skills and kind of rough knowledge, but like actual systems and day-to-day like feedback mechanisms just weren't in place. So that's I think what was a big change for me is getting into the ring with this whole sales world.
Yeah. Like having role plays, having feedback, scripting, frameworks, objection handling, and actually practicing it being kind of like put on the spot.
Hmm.
Because I remember when we started, like I would say you definitely had confidence, but like, what do you think were maybe some of the challenges back then, or maybe some of the sticking points that you feel like? Because right now, I mean, you're top of the leaderboard this month. You've hit the record in this company. You've hit 100K a month, the first person to cross that, which I resonate with. I did that at one of the companies when I was starting in sales, so that makes me so excited for you because it's like that's an honor to be the first six-figure closer on the team. What do you feel like were some of the challenges or some of the things that you've developed through over the last 6 months, like working together?
Having a real system, like a script that's specific to the product that we're offering,
Hmm.
and also the ancillary knowledge around sales, which
Yeah.
is not just asking the right questions, it's knowing the right tonality, it's being able to read the person and take your script and customize it for what they've already shared with you. So being a good listener
Mm.
and knowing how to overcome objections. Like I think that's one of the biggest fears that people have is like, well, what if they say no? Or, like knowing how to dig deeper and having the instinct to know what to say and when to say it, and having that right tone, and not coming across like a salesperson, but more of like you genuinely care about that person. You
Yeah.
want to solve a real problem that they have. And coming from that place of like, dude, I'm here to help you. Let's just have a casual conversation. I'm not going to like throw a script at you. Even though I have a script and a framework, it doesn't feel like that.
Mm.
Uh,
So you're like embodying it now. It's becoming more unconscious, like competence. It's becoming more natural.
yeah. Yeah. There's those four phases of learning.
Yeah. So you've definitely
unconscious
progressed along that because I think
incompetence.
you were reading straight from the script before, weren't you, for a bit? Are you now?
I would say it's definitely much more second nature. I always have a script up in front of me,
This
but
is a reference.
yeah, it's more of just like in case I get off track or in case they start getting long-winded to keep me on track and maintain kind of that pace of the conversation, I'll refer to it.
Yeah. I think one of the things I've seen in you is like learning how to interject and then leaning into objections. So I'm wondering if you could speak into a little bit of maybe what you're doing differently now in your calls that is maybe you weren't doing when we first started connecting on
Hmm.
this.
Yeah, my personality is very much like passive and keeping the peace. And you referred a book to me a while back called uh, what is it?
No
No
more
More
Mr.
Mr.
Nice Guy.
Nice Guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's because that was I read it first and I needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that fear of like, oh, am I gonna be perceived as impolite or mean or rude? But I'm very teachable. Like I have a high teachability index. So if I'm just kind of like guided and encouraged to try something, I have the
Yeah.
confidence and willingness to try something new.
Mm.
But for whatever reasons, just the way I was raised or whatever, I'm a very much like don't want to ruffle people's feathers. However, I've been really practicing that. Like my challenge in the past was letting people be long-winded, kind of taking over the conversation and going down paths that were unnecessary.
Yeah.
So being able to politely be like, "Well, hold on one second. Can I learn a little bit more about that, or can I get some clarity on that?" And just
Mm.
like maintaining the
There's like a cadence.
control. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a cadence control that you have now. Like when I see your calls, like you're actually using curiosity plus clarifying questions to kind of like it's almost like a bowling lane and there's bumpers now to make sure that it doesn't get stuck in the gutters. Like it's you're keeping it in the track and it's actually going downstream and it's not getting like caught off in the gutters essentially because you got these little like
Hmm.
corrections, which are clarifying questions or little interjections that keep it at least in the general track.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's for the benefit of you and the person you're talking to.
100%. Because like we have tendencies sometimes maybe to not be clear or to go off in places because it's our first time answering the question. We haven't rehearsed our answers as prospects. Sometimes we need a little guidance to actually refine the answer and keep it on track and not just go off into the weeds. So it's actually a gift that we can give them because ultimately what we're giving people is the clarity needed to make the change that they want to make. And
Hmm.
that question asking, you're giving them a chance to actually get clarity, which most people, they talk within their life, don't know how to actively listen. They don't know how to clarify and they don't know how to lead them to the best decision possible, which is what, you've gotten really good at doing. And that's been um, reflected in your results, right? Like I listen to your calls now and like you're still incredibly calm and chill, but you're interjecting, you're diffusing, you're disarming. And because of that, I mean, your revenue per call is practically tripled, almost
Hmm.
almost 4x.
Hmm. Yeah. And the definition of sell, it's a Germanic origin.
Mm,
And most people think selling is like, what can I get from this person? But the reality is that the origin of the word means to give.
hmm.
Sellen, Sellen. It's like a Germanic origin.
Yeah.
And so when you're in that mindset of how can I give right now, it's goes back to that like law of reciprocity. So it's when they feel like you're giving, then they drop their guard more and they're willing to give information that could be really valuable for you to help them achieve their goals and achieve what it is that they want to.
Yeah. And I would say you are a giver. That's like a big part of how you show up and you are generous and a giver, not just because you want to sell, but that's just like how you operate, which makes it even more influential when it's not just for the sake of trying to take. That's called manipulation, and one is actually an honest way of being. So it's cool to work with someone like that who is a real, true giver. I respect that in a big way. Um, I'm curious how this has shown up outside of the sales world, like these communication skills that you've been refining the last like 6 months, you've really been consistent with call reviews, with studies, with asking questions, with seeking input? Like, how is it showing up in other areas of your life, or how is it helping you outside of just sales, like on
Mm.
calls?
Hmm. Yeah, it reminds me of the word question. Like
Hmm.
it's kind of a conjugation of quest, I on.
Hmm.
And so many years ago, I kind of came up with this phrase that the quality of the questions constitutes the quality of your life experience.
Yep.
So, one great value of having this training with you is the quality of the questions that I'm asking and how that's navigating me in my sales life, but also in my personal life outside of sales. Like, I'm noticing my ability to ask questions with people it's more fun. Like I'm kind of practicing outside of sales and just general conversations,
Yep.
digging deeper and uncovering things and kind of instead of just keeping things surface level, it's like I'm able to dig deeper into what is more meaningful and having better conversations as a result of that.
Mm.
Same thing like with my wife, like just being able to inquire and be a better listener. Like I've noticed that in many of my relationships, which is really cool.
That's uh that's epic. It's like once you know that you can go to a deeper level, it's hard to want to settle for just more surface level convos that lack curiosity and depth and direction. So
Hmm.
glad to
Yeah.
hear that you're implementing it outside of that. I really appreciate you hopping on. I guess the biggest thing I would ask before maybe we wrap it up and maybe we'll have a few more points, but is if anyone was considering either working with me one to one or that maybe they have a sales team based on what you've experienced, like what would you tell them? Let's say they were on the fence. Like what would you say?
Number one is if you're considering just getting sales training in general and you're in sales or you just want to be better at conversions, like if you look at any professional in any industry, they have coaches. Like any
Yep.
pro that's good at what they do, they have one or more coaches. And so if you're considering getting a coach, absolutely. If you're considering working with Mason, what I love about working with you is your the way you show up. Like you genuinely care. You're fun to hang out with. You're fun to interact with. It's not like militant. It's not strict. It's very like almost like a friendship. It feels like, we talk about things in life. We talk about things, um, you know, personal goal setting.
Yeah.
It gets very um, nuanced in your approach. And so you have good feedback mechanisms, you have good systems, you share lots of, resources, things that you use in your life or in your, you know, um, sales career, like what's worked, what hasn't worked. And so having the tools, having the cool personality, like those are the things that really stand out for me. And I would encourage someone to jump in. Like it would be a no-brainer. On being
Yeah.
on the other side of it is like, dude, just do it.
Nice, man. I appreciate you sharing that and the kind words. And it's likewise, it's cool to see the amount of work that you've put in. I think, like you said, you are really teachable and coachable, and that's made it a pleasure to support you and see you develop and expand. Um,
Appreciate that.
I know that you're also building your business, so I'll definitely put the link in it of the type of people you want to reach. Would that mainly be people who are in the hemp business, or mainly who do you want to reach? Because I know you have the digital marketing agency for the hemp side. So anyone who's in that industry, you're looking to connect with as well. Is that right?
Yeah, so I have two marketing agencies. One of them is hempaware.com and the other one is TidoAgency.com. Tido is specifically for conscious entrepreneurs, people that have sustainable, eco-friendly, purpose-driven missions and brands that want
Sweet.
to clarify their messaging, maybe create better conversion mechanisms, different assets along like the buyer journey.
Okay.
We do website design, SEO services. So that's Tido. HempAware is specifically for hemp entrepreneurs and hemp businesses. I've had over 20 years in this industry, so not only
Wow.
do I run my own hemp companies, I'm on a mission to empower and hemp educate the hemposphere and put emphasis on what's most important in life.
Nice. Let's
So
go.
Bulk Hemp Warehouse is our physical hemp product distribution company. So anybody that's wanting to up level the quality and integrity of the products that they're making and infuse something made out of hemp into what they're doing, whether it's fabric, rope, twine, raw hemp fibers, protein powders, hemp seed oil. We specifically specialize in the seed and the fiber side of the plant. We don't really deal with like cannabinoids like CBD and stuff. But yeah, we
Mm.
do have CBD clients on the marketing side, but for the physical products, it's like the seed and fiber stuff. But that's
Nice.
my story in a hemp nutshell.
In a hemp nutshell. Dude, it's cool to work with someone that's got such a unique background and so coachable. And I'll drop the links for both of your businesses in the YouTube video because this will go on YouTube and then it'll be in my school group as well. So it's really good to have you on today, man. And I appreciate you coming out. And that's that for this one. We'll see you guys on the next interview.